Disclaimer. This video is an assignment for sociology class, Introductory Sociology, at San Diego State University. The purpose of the assignment is to help inform us on key issues related to sociology of the body. The positions being advocated may not necessarily reflect the opinions of the students developing this video. Understanding family and the different dynamics. In this video, we'll be discussing the dynamics of family and how they play a crucial role in shaping our lives, influencing our socialization patterns, life choices, and personal development. Hello, my name is Samantha, and I'll be covering sexual theory in relation to daughters and their fathers. Conley describes sexual theory as the idea that the heterosexual nuclear family is the ideal arrangement in modern societies because it fulfills the function of reproducing workers. With a work-oriented father in the public sphere and a domestic-oriented mother in the private sphere, children are most effectively reared to be people who can meet the labor demands of a capitalist system. This idea of the nuclear family is not always a reality for people. In some families, fathers unexpectedly have to become the primary caretakers and are forced to tackle traditionally female responsibilities. This shift of roles can be jarring, as these fathers are often unprepared for this new responsibility. Here's a clip that I think demonstrates this.
You don't just stick it in a pot. Use a meat rack.
I'm an idiot.
Come on.
Okay.
All right, good.
All right,
settle
great.
down here. There we go.
Are you gonna cook Michelle?
We're changing her diaper.
Oh, then how do you roast a turkey?
Steph, Joey and I are busy. Joey, stripper. All right, careful there. You're in control. All right, slide it off and... Good thinking, Joey. Keep it fresh.
So you may be asking yourself, what happens when this traditional dynamic is challenged? Let's look at this in the perspective of a single father with a daughter. The effects of this extend to the children, more specifically the daughters who find themselves dealing with more responsibilities than their peers in traditional households do. In addition, some fathers tend to struggle to give the same level of support and encouragement to their daughters than for their sons, or if they were the half-sons. In some situations, fathers sometimes even begin to view their daughters as substitutes for the missing mother in their lives. It's also important to note that the relationship between a daughter and her father significantly affects her development. Research shows that a positive bond and relationship between a daughter and her father can lead to academic success, high self-esteem, and overall life satisfaction, and improved mental health. So, in conclusion, these non-traditional roles that challenge the traditional sexual theory show the complexity and adaptability of different family dynamics. As we explore this, we are able to gain insights into the complicated ways families navigate social expectations and redefine traditional gender roles.
From the very first moment a child opens their eyes to the world, they seek the love and nurture that their parents embrace. Conley, and you may ask yourself, states that family plays a big role in shaping our views and ability to communicate well with others. So what happens when those parental figures are missing? We've already discussed what it's like to raise a family as a single parent. In this particular case, I want to focus on a daughter's lasting effects of an absent father figure. The term known as daddy issues is a term often used to describe the profound weight of a daughter's intricate web of emotions when the role of a father in her life is unfulfilled. So let's look at what challenges it presents regarding future romantic relationships. In our class book, you may ask yourself, Chapter 5 commonly discusses different types of groups, our parents being a primary group. The term primary group was termed by sociologist Charles Horton Cooley, where loyalty is the primary ethic. Primary groups play a crucial role in shaping our behaviors when it comes to communication and vulnerability. Why does the role of a father figure have such a lasting effect on our ability to communicate well with our romantic partners? Well, for a woman, her father would be considered the first male role model in her life who exemplifies a healthy communication through the expression of emotions and embracing vulnerability. A big factor in a healthy relationship is trust. As mentioned before, Conley and You May Ask Yourself states that loyalty is the primary ethic that makes a primary group the most important relationship you can have. When a father figure begins to disassociate himself from his daughter's life, she develops what is best known as trauma bond. Trauma bond is an unhealthy bond to a person who causes a lot of harm to the relationship. For a woman who is experiencing an unhealthy attachment or has already been left by her father, building trust and intimate connections with the male figure is a lot harder due to the mere fact experience of abandonment by her father figure. Shelley Korshak states, for a patient with trauma bond, getting consistent, intimate, and approval from her father is not an option. She gives up hope for an intimate, trusting relationship. She tends to relate to her father as an object, perhaps as a perpetrator, and she is likely to replace her attachment to him with attachments to the pattern of abandonment and abuse. In a journal article, Fathers and Daughters, The Promise of Intimacy, child psychiatrist Shelley Korshak highlights the significance of parental figures, not only as role models, but also as an influence on future relationships. Marriage and family therapists such as Harvo Hendricks have written that the choice of a specific partner is highly influenced by the internalized positive and negative aspects of the parents, indicating that the internalization of the caregivers create a template for future relationships, she states. For example, in the TV show Shameless, Frank Gallagher, although he has not fully abandoned his children, but is absent for a majority of the time, Fiona, who is the oldest daughter, struggles with the majority of her relationships throughout the film, and she has a hard time building trust with other male partners. This is because growing up with an absent father made it very difficult for her to learn what healthy relationship patterns look like. Her love life is a mess. She cheats, runs away from great guys, and has a hard time just building trustful relationships. Although she loves her dad, she has a hard time trusting other men due to her dad's absence a majority of her life.
Hello, my name is Catherine, and today I will be talking about sibling dynamics and how siblings affect the way we socialize. So let me ask you, have you ever wondered how different your life would be if you didn't have any siblings? Or if you did grow up with siblings, how different would your life be if you did have siblings? Well, today, I'm going to talk to you about how much of an influence your siblings have on you and the way one socializes and grows up. Naturally, we learn a lot from our family members, some of the most influential ones being our siblings. Through them, we learn different ways of socialization. They teach us how to react, what not to do, what actions are acceptable, and much more. According to Dalton Conley, people who grow up with siblings are able to learn newer social skills and grow up to be more empathetic because they are more likely to think about their siblings. Siblings open up learning opportunities to resolve conflict in more effective ways. The older siblings often model the behavior, while the younger siblings follow the behavior. As this quote shows, siblings play a very crucial role in children's development because people are able to learn by modeling. Siblings can teach us how to better care for people, and they can also help us understand them better. Now, I know that it was a pretty popular show in the 90s, but I want to talk about Boy Meets World and the sibling dynamics as an example. So for context, there are 3 siblings: Eric, who's the oldest, Corey, who's the middle child, and Morgan, who's the youngest. So Eric, because he is the oldest, is a model for both Corey and Morgan. They both looked up to him, and he would always care for them, therefore teaching them how to care about others. They always thought he was the cool older brother. And of course, because he looked up to Eric, Corey would always go to him for advice, especially when it came down to girls.
Hi, my name is Daniela Burgos, and I'm going to be talking about the toxic relationship between a mother and a son. I'm going to begin with my intro. The toxic mother-son relationship causes a relationship of parents to decrease based on the fixation that the mother has with her son. With that being said, the mama's boy saying begins on the mother's actions towards her son. What is a toxic mother-son relationship? Have some of you guys been in a relationship before with a mama's boy? If you have, then my respects for you, and here's why. A mama's boy is a boy who doesn't know how to be independent and relies on his mother to do everything for him. For example, his laundry, folding his clothes, dishes, and even cleaning up after himself. The term mama's boy not only impacts the son's life and his future goals because he can't and doesn't know how to be independent, but it also impacts the parents' relationship. A quote from Anna Tracy: "There's a difference between a son loving his mother and when the son isn't able to function one step without his mother." Why is the mother toxic towards her son? The mother creates a toxic relationship towards her son because she becomes overprotective of him. At such an older age and young age, she also makes the decision of what he can and cannot do. But to her, she thinks it's normal since it is her son. But that is not the case. It can also be the fact that the son is their only child and the mother feels desire to let her son have anything he wants. And that can also cause him to not be independent when he grows up. Lastly, it can also be that the mother is having a difficult time letting her son mature and grow up. So now you may be wondering how this toxic relationship affects others around them. The toxic mother-son relationship, not only does it have effect towards the mother and son, but also towards the dad and the son's future. His father gets affected by this because not only does the father not have a relationship with his only son or his only child, but he doesn't even get to spend time with him since the mother is so asphyxiated on being there for the son like 24/7. The son's future partner is also affected by this because she is going to deal with her mother-in-law always giving in her opinion. The mother-in-law will always do everything in her power to dislike her new daughter-in-law. For that way, the son doesn't share his love or attention with anybody else.
She's not the right woman for Shakib.
Ma.
And what makes you say that?
You're against me. You want to take Shakib away from me?
That is not true.
Yes, that is true. Shakib is mine. You love me more than her.
Yeah, well, no, it's different. It's different.
Yeah, of course, different. Your love always for me.
Yeah, but right now, if you love me,
I
you
am
have
the
to.
first one.
If you love me, you gotta show respect.
I am the one that
Ma,
you
if you
love.
love me, you gotta show her some respect.
No, why I should respect her? No,
Ma,
of
just
course
Ma,
not.
you have
Never
to. You
in
have
my
to.
dead body.
Ma, John, you have Ma.
No.
Ma.
She pretends that she's the best. She's a good
She's
girl.
not pretending.
No, I'm not pretending
She
anything.
is innocent. She's loving, and she's not the way she is.
Hello, my name is Abigail, and today I will be going into the complex interplay between work and family life through the lens of sociology. Work-family balance, often termed work-life balance, is the equilibrium sought between professional obligations and personal life. Work-family balance is the delicate art of harmonizing professional responsibilities with the demands of family life. In the sociological context, it's more than individual struggle. It's a reflection of societal structures and cultural norms. Societal structures shape our experiences. Cultural norms like the emphasis on collectivism or individualism influence how we prioritize family or personal achievements. Institutional policies, such as the workplace structures and government legislations, significantly impact our ability to manage these intricate facets of life. Gender roles play a pivotal role. Traditional norms often dictate the division of family duties and work responsibilities between men and women. Consley talks about this in the textbook that since the 1970s, American men and women have been caught up in what Kathleen Gerson calls a subtle revolution in our way of organizing work and home. Even as we fantasize about an imagined time gone by, women's participation in the labor force has soared, whereas fertility rates have plummeted, and by the end of the 1970s, more women were rather out of the labor force for the first time. In 1950, approximately 30% of women worked outside the home. That number more than doubled to 60% by 1999. In 2018, the labor force participation rate for women was 57.1%. Now let's see this in action. In the show The Middle, we witness Frankie and Mike striving to balance familyhood and a demanding career. In this show, Frankie Heck, the main protagonist, and the wife of Frankie, Mike Heck, who together have 3 kids, Axel, Sue, and Brick Heck. She was formerly a car salesperson, but she now works in a dental hygienist who faces finding family-work balance while striving for a better life for her family. While the husband, Mike Heck, works at a quarry in Oranson, Indiana, which supplies the family. Their journey showcases the impact of economic factors, emphasizing how external pressures can complicate the pursuit of work-family balance.
Besides, it's your turn. I went down to school when Axel pants the band kids.
I did Sue in the squirrel attack.
Brick and the chalk chewing.
Brick and the lying down in class. Brick and the beeping in class. Brick and the howling in class. Brick and the...
I'm Brick X Dad. What do you do this time? We get his lunch? We were in kind of a hurry this morning. What's going on here?
You tell me. I hear your wife got a little rough with your son this morning.
What? Are you joking? You guys strippers or something?
No, I'm afraid not. We got a call from the hall monitor. He said that your son told him that his mother hit him with a beer bottle.
Hi, Dad!
Family work balance is a delicate equilibrium that involves managing responsibilities at both the workplace and home to ensure a fulfilling and harmonious life. Achieving this balance requires intentional effort and prioritization. One key aspect is setting clear boundaries between work and family time, allowing individuals to be fully present in each domain. Effective communication with employers and family members is crucial, as it helps manage expectations and ensure support from both fronts. Embracing flexibility such as a remote work options or flexible schedules can also contribute to a healthier balance. Moreover, incorporating regular self-care practices like exercising or finding hobbies can recharge individuals, enhancing their ability to navigate the demands of both work and family life. Ultimately, fostering an understanding and supportive environment both at work and home is vital for cultivating a sustainable and enriching family work balance.